Let's be real, we've all been there, right? Stuck in some endless digital loop, basically arguing with a machine. Today, we're going to dive into why so many of our chats with AI feel so, well, broken. And more importantly, how we can move beyond these frustrating bots to unlock some real, actual connection.
I mean, seriously, have you ever found yourself in that digital dead end? You're just trying to get a simple answer, trying to reason with an automated system, but the conversation is just going in circles. You can feel your patience just evaporating. It's a universal feeling these days, and man, is it frustrating.
This quote wow, it absolutely nails the feeling, doesn't it? It's that helpless, kind of infuriating sense that you're talking to something with all the emotional depth of a pet rock. Yeah, it hears your words, but it doesn't get it. It doesn't understand what you're actually feeling.
But what if there's a better way? Okay, so this is where we pivot from the problem to the solution. We're going to talk about building AI that doesn't just process commands, but actually connects with you. And that solution? It's all about something called empathetic AI.
So what do we actually mean by an empathetic tone in AI? Let's be super clear here. This is not about the AI having actual feelings. No. It's about its ability to communicate in a way that makes you feel heard, It acknowledges your emotion, it understands the context of the situation, and then it responds in a way that feels genuinely helpful.
I just love this quote because it gets right to the heart of it. We can have the most complex, brilliant algorithms in the entire world, but if they can't build a simple bridge of understanding with the person on the other end, what's even the point? This is really about shifting our focus from pure programming to, well, building rapport.
And you can feel the difference immediately, can't you? On the left, you've got that classic brick wall of a response. Invalid input. Ugh. But then on the right, you have a connection. That empathetic response acknowledges your frustration, it validates it, and it keeps you engaged. It's such a small shift in language, but it makes a massive, massive difference in the experience.
Now look, this isn't just about making users feel all warm and fuzzy. There are very real, very tangible benefits to doing this. So let's take a look at how building a better connection actually builds a better bottom line.
Okay, check out this list. An empathetic AI, it leads to a dramatically better user experience. That one's pretty obvious, but it also builds trust, real trust. When you feel understood, you're way more likely to trust the platform. This boosts how people see your brand, it creates loyalty, and it's an absolute superpower in customer service for de-escalating tense situations. And yep, it can even lead to more sales. Why? Because a helpful, understanding guide is always going to be more persuasive.
And the data really speaks for itself here. This chart compares user frustration levels, and just look at that massive drop. You're not just tweaking the experience a little bit. You are fundamentally transforming it from something that causes frustration into something that feels genuinely helpful. That's a total game changer.
Okay, so we get why it's so valuable. But the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you go about building an AI that can forge these kinds of connections? Well, it's a careful process, a blend of strategy, technology, and a whole lot of testing. The path to getting this right really comes down to 3 key stages. First up, strategy. You have to know who your AI is and who it's for before you write a single line of code. Second, you leverage the right tech, things like natural language processing, to understand not just the words, but the emotion and the intent behind them. And third, and this is so important, you never, ever stop testing and refining. You listen to feedback and you just iterate constantly.
This is such a great way to think about that first step, isn't it? You wouldn't cast an actor in a movie without a character description, a backstory, or motivations, right? The same exact thing goes for your AI. If you want it to be believable and truly effective, you have to give it a detailed persona. A simple name is just not going to cut it.
All right, now for a really crucial part of this whole conversation. Building empathetic AI isn't all smooth sailing. There are some very serious, very practical challenges to think about, including that fine line between being helpful and just being plain creepy.
And here is one of the biggest challenges to get right. If an AI learns from data that reflects real-world patterns, could we accidentally build an AI that's, more helpful and empathetic to one group of people than another? This is the algorithmic bias trap, and it is a massive technical hurdle to overcome.
So these are all risks we absolutely have to navigate carefully. There's that creepy factor of being inauthentic if the AI tries way too hard. The bias trap we just mentioned, the real danger of users becoming too emotionally dependent on a system, the huge responsibility of handling sensitive data, And finally, the need for total transparency, making it crystal clear that it is an AI.
And this sentence right here really sums up how to avoid that creepy territory. The objective isn't to create a fake best friend. The goal is to create a tool that is perceived as genuinely helpful and understanding within its specific role. Authenticity in its purpose is what builds trust, not faking a personality it doesn't really have.
So, where is all of this heading? If today's AI is just the beginning, and it is, the future of emotionally intelligent systems is, well, it's incredibly exciting. Let's take a peek at what's coming next. This right here, this is the big leap forward. Right now, most empathetic AI is reactive. It responds to your frustration. The next generation, it's going to be proactive. It'll learn your patterns, it'll be able to sense when you're getting stuck or frustrated, and then it'll offer help before you even have to ask for it. Wild, right?
This final quote just frames the future so perfectly, I think. The goal isn't just to build more powerful technology, more smarts. It's to build it with wisdom, with a really strong ethical compass, and with a deep sense of responsibility for how these tools are going to shape all of our lives.
And so we end with this one fundamental question for anyone out there building the next generation of AI. Are you just making another talking appliance, another clever tool, or are you architecting a genuine bridge for human connection? Ultimately, that's the choice that's going to define the future of this incredible technology.